Welcome back to the Carolina Panthers rebuild. We have got ourselves into the offseason, and maybe we threw that final game for better draft picks, but it's fine. We're ready to see the combine results, look at the free agent landscape, and kind of see who's available. Now, with free agency, we've got a little bit of cap room. We have like $5.6 million currently available because I have some guys we're trying to sign. We'll talk about them in a second. But there's some guys definitely available. Charvarius Ward, there's 16 teams offering him. He doesn't have any interest in us, and we have the interest level at as a high, very high impact. So he's probably not going to come here. So I'm not going to waste any time or money trying to spend big bucks on a 29-year-old corner, but I would love to have him on our team. There's some other guys that are pretty talented across the board. Amari Cooper is a guy that maybe if he doesn't sign day one, we might make an offer, but he's going to cost a ton too. But most of the guys here are pretty old. But a guy like Javon Holland, you can see that we're going to target. But the guys we're actually targeting here, Javon Holland, we need to upgrade to free safety. He's only 25. We're throwing him a lot of money right now. Christian Fulton, a pretty fast corner with some high upside. Nobody else is going after him, so we're going to offer him. We've got Josh Metellus, who's kind of a Swiss Army knife, man. He can play everywhere, has played everywhere, kind of in the real NFL. I would definitely use him in a lot of different ways on our team. Clelin Ferrell, we need another defensive end. And then Tommy Tremble, who said he didn't want to sign with us. And we're the only team offering you, Tommy. Now, we simmed the first part of the free agency to see if we got any of these guys, and it doesn't look like we did. So I don't see Holland and anybody else here. If we go look, Von Holland signed with the Houston Texans. You could have been great. You could have been over here. And if we kind of go look at free safety, Justin Simmons is there, but he's not super interested in us. Holland was going to be a lot cheaper. We probably could have went and got Cam Bynum instead, but Cam Bynum went there. I was thinking, okay, Holland's definitely my preferred guy we should go for. And then it kind of just falls off. Everybody else is old. I was trying to get a guy in maybe their mid and late 20s. And even if we look at Forrest, Forrest is going to be worse than what Fuller was. So I'm annoyed now. And then of the guys we have targeted, Christian Fulton now has a significantly better offer from the Chargers. So we're probably not going to get him. Clelin Ferrell, no one's offering him. Tommy Tremble, nobody's offering him. So I kind of want to go look at corner and see if there's somebody else maybe we could try to find here. Gilmore's there. Brandon Stevens is probably, honestly, a pretty solid fit, I think, for us. And if you look at Benjamin St-Juste, maybe he's got 5 teams offering him, but he's not super interested. Stevens is at least interested in it. St-Juste is probably our backup plan. He's 27. I'll give him 3 years. We'll bump him up 4.5 for his bonus, 3.8 million for what we're actually giving him. He would be our number 2. Stokes would then be our slot corner guy. Let's see how this offer kind of compares to everybody else that's sort of offering him right now. And let's see. Our targeted guys, Stevens would be... Tommy Tremble's not... Oh, we're looking at just corner, sorry. So this offer would be still lower than what the Broncos are offering. So I got to throw him more money. All right, we're going to throw a $4 million salary base, $5 million a year, and we're going to give him a 3-year deal. That's the best I got, okay? If that's not good enough for you, then I don't know. Okay, we're at least in comparison with the Broncos. So we're going to sim and see if we can get Brandon Stevens to help boost our cornerback situation. Christian Fulton we're probably not going to get, but we're at least in the running. Now, while we're going through free agency and kind of figuring that out, I want to talk a little bit about my draft strategy and why I think we're about to do something great. And so I am going to explore a trade in a second to see if we can maybe convince the Browns to give us that number 1 pick. But if we can't, I've got an opportunity here that I think is going to work. So I've went through and I've actually sorted through a ton of different players, and I spent a couple hours off stream figuring this out. And Joseph Burton feels like he's going to be a pretty comparable player, if not a little bit faster than what we've got from Hoover. So Hoover runs a 4.67 40-yard dash, but Burton is out here running a 4.39. Now, he's a scrambler. They're both scramblers. His bench was a little less. His vertical's better. He's got a better broad jump. He's got a pretty comparable 3-cone, slightly slower. His shuttle's a little bit slower, which is a little cause for concern. But when I went in to actually look at his stuff, he's got a beautiful spiral on all his passes. He's tall in the pocket, always aware of pressure, avoids sacks, loves to run plays outside of the structure, 3-quarter quick throwing motion. We kind of look at his physicals. He's got great and elite for everything except for strength, which he's good. He had 17 reps in the bench press. His combine and his 40-yard dash, his combine and his pro day 40-yard dash are pretty similar. He got stronger at his college pro day, went from 13 reps to 17. His vertical jump is pretty much the same as was his broad jump. He got a little bit better in his 3-cone drill, and his 20-yard shuttle got a little bit better as well. He's in the top 5 for everything on quarterbacks, and I feel pretty good about looking at all that information. And then we kind of go here. He's got A for break sack. His deep and medium accuracy are both a B. He's got A for short accuracy, A for throwing the run. Under pressure, we have to figure that out. Could be a B or a C. Trucking, I don't really care about. But he's got a high awareness as well, either an A or a B. I feel like this guy's going to be perfectly fine. And I feel like he's kind of a diamond in the rough, because when I was looking at where he's sort of ranked out from a quarterback perspective, he's moved up 11 spots. He was ranked, I guess, at 39. Now he's up to 28. So he's probably a late first round guy. I'm going to try, if I can't get Hoover for a solid deal, we're going to try to trade up from our second round pick into middle of the first round and make sure we can secure Joseph Burton. But that leaves the question of who I would take with my third pick. And the answer to that question is who I think is probably got to be best player in the draft. Jadarius Leary seems like an absolute stud here. He's a wide receiver. He did fall down one spot, but 6'3", 229, A catch in traffic, A catching, B deep route, A release. He's got some stuff where maybe he has some concentration drops or whatever. His 40-yard dash was pretty similar across the board. A 39-inch vertical jump is crazy. His broad jump got better. His shuttle was 4.19, which is a little slow for a receiver. But he's got so many A's across the board that I feel like this is a guy I got to take a gamble on. A catching traffic, B deep route. He's got some run block in there as well. His injury, though, is rated an F for this draft class, which scares me a little bit, but we're in boom or bust territory right now. Now, I wanted to go see what the Browns would ask for the number 1 pick overall this year, and they would want a first, so our third overall pick this year, our first next year, our first the following year, a second this year, a second next year, and a third next year. That is way too much. Now, with that quarterback that I think we can get in kind of the late-ish first round, the 49ers picked 21, or actually they picked 19, sorry. They picked 19, and we're going to try to trade our 2025 second-round pick. We have 2 of them. Dane Jackson, who's now expendable because we got Brandon Stevens in free agency. Josie Jewell, a middle linebacker that's aging. He hit 30. And we have Overshown and Trevin Wallace, who I think Trevin Wallace is probably going to be our starter this upcoming season. A 2027 second rounder and a 2027 7th round pick. This should bring us that 19 pick. What? Okay. Hold on. Okay, we swapped the 2027 7th rounder for 2026 7th rounder, and that should bring us pain. Now we've adjusted to a 6th rounder in 2026, and finally this should bring us the 19th pick overall. Let's go. And one thing we're looking at here is obviously the future, and a viewer in my stream, Bushy, just mentioned that Taylor Moton is actually 31. He's in the last year of his deal, and he's costing us like $30 million. We can actually trade him now and not really deal with any cap penalty because of that, and maybe try to get younger at right tackle and maybe recoup a draft pick, which would be nice because I actually thought we had 2 first round or 2 second round draft picks. We only had 1. So now we have 2 firsts and then we go to the 3rd round. So maybe we could try to move Taylor and see what's available. Now we were out here looking at different options we could have for shipping Taylor Moton out of here. Again, last year of his deal, we'll figure some stuff out. We accidentally traded for the Raiders' 1st round pick next year. I was just trying to see what would they be interested in terms of, like, we looked at the Patriots potentially giving us their number 1 overall pick in 2026, and they were like close but not quite there. And I went to the Raiders and they were like sold. So unfortunately this trade is completely done, and we've just now got to go figure out what to do at right tackle. So after the accidental trade of Taylor Moton, which it isn't the worst thing in the world, getting a 1st rounder next year is going to be fantastic next year. It doesn't help us out this year, but we can get DeJuan Jones from the Cleveland Browns for a 2027 4th and a 2025 7th rounder. That to me is very good. We looked at a lot of other guys to try to get Amarius Mims. They said, no shot, buddy. And then we tried to get Broderick Jones from the Steelers, and they were like, yeah, 5th rounder. So I feel like I'd probably rather have DeJuan Jones. He's a little bit better. A 7th or 4th and 7th, I think, to me are fantastic. So we will do that. We're not going to miss either one of those picks, and we've got our new right tackle. Now, wait a second. There's a little bit of a shakeup here. The Browns are now listed as taking Esteban Gutierrez, the wide receiver. Will Miller is slated as going number 2. Joseph Burton, they apparently know that we're looking at him. Joseph Burton, they have going to us at 3. And Theo Hoover, they have falling 5 points to the Giants. Why is he falling? This is like, I guess because he's slower. He ran bad at his 40. Like, maybe that's it. Stamina's F. Stiff arms F. Under pressure's an A. Break sacks an A. Injuries a C. I'm confused. We don't see throw power listed here, do we? No, there's no throw power listed. We have no idea how good his arm actually is, but the fact that he's fallen, I feel like maybe some teams know some information that I don't know. Now we head into free agency and we'll look at the recap to see where everybody ultimately went. Charvarius Ward goes to Tampa Bay on a 1-year deal. Ryan Kelly to the Bears. Amari Cooper to the Chargers. They desperately needed a receiver. They got a very good veteran. Maybe a guy we could have went after, but hindsight's 2020. Khalil Mack's back in LA. We see Justin Simmons in San Fran. Javon Holland's one I'm the most angry about. We thought we had him locked in, and then he went to Houston. But how about the guys that we signed? So our big signings here were Brandon Stevens, an 81 overall corner, who's our number 2 guy now. He's pretty young still, 27, so feel good about that. We also brought in 2 safeties, Marquise Bell and Josh Metellus. Metellus can move around a ton, so he maybe doesn't play strong safety the entire time. Boogie Basham, we got Olasamika Udo. I kind of butchered that. And I was actually trying to get another tight end here. We kind of lowballed him in an offer in N'Keal Harry, but apparently he just considered and decided to never sign. But we'll try to get him in free agency, the actual free agency. Now we're right before the NFL draft, and I'm kind of freaking out because it looks like they know that I want to draft Theo, or what was his name? Joseph Burton. I don't want to call him Theo Burton. There's Theo Hoover, who I thought I wanted, and I think now I actually want Joseph Burton as my QB of the future. And I thought no one knew that, but they happen to know that. So we're going to try to throw him off the scent a little bit. We're going to scout Theo Hoover, Jadarius Leary, who I think I'm going to take at number 3, assuming he's there. And then we're going to go down here. There was a defensive end, Alton Garnes, the other guy. So I want to make them think that, okay, maybe they actually don't really want to go after Joseph Burton. They're going to go after one of these 3 guys who they're kind of looking at, because they got 2 first-rounders now. And then if we can still have Joseph Burton at 19, we take him. And if he's not there, then we got to make a big trade in the offseason and get another quarterback somewhere else. We have made it to the NFL draft, and we're trying to see who the Cleveland Browns are going to take. And with the number 1 pick, here we go. Roger Goodell. We can't hear what he's saying. It's fine. It's fine. He's just... I think that's Theo Hoover. I'm pretty sure this is Theo Hoover. Please be Theo Hoover. Okay, they switched. They said they were going to take a wide receiver. That was kind of in the mock draft 4. They took Theo Hoover. Now, the Titans are the only other pick before us. You got to see who they're going to take now. All right, the Tennessee Titans just went second, and they picked up Gutierrez. So that's another wide receiver off the board. But we have a wide receiver that we want to absolutely take right here. So our selection is going to be here with Jadarius Leary. I am thinking about going down and getting Burton, but I feel like we can get Leary here. He's top 5 talent. We scouted him 100%. I feel great about picking him here, and then I just cross my fingers that at 19 when we pick again that Joseph Burton is there. And if he's there, we're going to have our wide receiver and quarterback of the future, and then we can figure out what we do with Bryce Young in the offseason. Jadarius Leary, you are coming to Carolina. Tell him, Roger. Tell him. Get him on stage. What if he was at home on his couch? Leary is coming to Carolina. That's a... Hey, man. What's his weight? He's built like Jamarcus Russell. Maybe he just got like a wide body suit, okay? But that scares me a little bit. Ooh, A-. He was ranked number 2 in true value. You drafted him in number 3. Very reliable hands, strong, reliable hands to make contested catches, excels at drag, slants, and other short routes. Love to see it. Player profile, what we got here? 92 excel, 91 speed. I'm good with that. 6'3", 229, a physical receiver, 89 change of direction, 91 jump. Okay, we don't see the rest of his stuff. I feel like we absolutely hit on this selection, and I'm happy about it. We're at a point in the draft where we've gotten to pick 16. One other quarterback has come off the board, Dan Lehman, outside of Theo Hoover. So 2 quarterbacks in total. Tampa Bay is really our only threat. If Tampa Bay doesn't take a quarterback here, we're fine. If Tampa Bay does take a quarterback here, we might cry because it could be our guy, Joseph Burton. Washington's not taking one at 17. Detroit's not taking one at 18. I got to imagine that we're going to be fine here. And Tampa Bay's pick is in. They take Kerry Welch, a wide receiver, so I feel extremely good now. Washington takes a left end, our next fear, so then we can go to the next user pick, a left tackle. That means that we stayed put. We're going to be able to pick the guy that we wanted, which is Joseph Burton. We don't know his middle name, but we'll find out eventually. Where? Am I tripping? Oh, I took him off my favorite board. I was like, he got drafted? All right, Joseph Burton. This is who we're going to take. I believe in Joseph Burton. That 40-yard dash makes him going to be really good. He was a leader, great in everything except for strength. His skills, the injury was... I don't see it anymore. A C, a D now. It was actually listed as an F, so I guess we scouted him a little bit more. It's now not an F anymore. So I feel better Joseph Burton. You are a Carolina Panther. You love to see it. 80 plus. I did it. Joseph Burton was ranked number 4 in true value. We got him at 19. Pinpoint accurate on intermediate throws, high level processor, excellent deep accuracy, and he's not built like Jamarcus Russell, like our wide receiver. I feel vindicated. 92 throw power, hidden dev trait, 89 excel. What's his speed? 94 speed. I'm running, read, options. I'm excited. This was the move. We got our guy at 19. Let's go. Now, I found myself here kind of just figuring out who I wanted to go with in the 3rd round, and it really came down between Tim Farrell or Max Ramsey. Now, looking at Max Ramsey, he's got a physical player who delivers bone-crushing hits. He's got A hit power. He's got A to C tackle, C zone coverage. His man coverage, I don't care about. I would not put a safety really in man coverage that often, but he seems pretty good. But the other guy, and I did a poll for my chat over on twitch.tv/GoodGameBro, was Tim Farrell. And he's got very similar stuff. Physical player who delivers bone-crushing hits, looks to rip the ball from runners. He runs a 4.3 40 at his pro day. He seems like he's going to be pretty good across the board. B hit power, B pursuit, but A man coverage, A to B zone coverage, B tackle. He's got pretty high finesse at A to B for this draft class. So I feel like he could also play outside backer, which we have some guys that we can kind of move around in our linebacker core. My chat voted to take Tim Farrell. So we're going to take him. Maybe we trade up for the other guy too, but Tim Farrell, he's definitely going to be a Carolina Panther. Let's see how it works out. B- pick. So he was actually ranked 33. We got him at 67. So I feel like that's great. More than enough speed to play linebacker in the NFL. Shows a knack for getting the ball carrier to the ground and a hit stick connoisseur. That's what I love to hear. His brown suit doesn't match, okay? We're going to talk about the fit. The brown suit doesn't match, but he's at 89 excel, 91 speed. This is absolutely fantastic. 85 agility, 75 change of direction, 73 strength. I feel like he's going to be good. It is a normal dev trait situation, but I think he's got stuff that we can kind of figure out. We can put him into some practice drills and maybe get him to bounce up at one point. I was literally trying to make a trade, and Max Ramsey just got taken. You saw the top right-hand corner. He was supposed to be a Panther. You can literally see it here. Tim Farrell, Max Ramsey go back-to-back picks. We did get some guys at strong safety that could be okay, but maybe we'll try to make a trade for Ramsey after the draft, but that just bums me out. I feel like he was going to be a Panther. Here in the 4th round, we got pick number 3. We're going after Michael Garland, a corner. We're kind of good in the corner position. We got a pretty decent amount of depth, but I want to get a young guy that we can kind of build up across. He's valued 80. We got him at 99, so they give us a C overall for that pick. Instinctive zone defender. Press ability frustrates receivers of the line. Not a burner, but decent speed. I can kind of work with that. Snazzy suit. I'm going to give him an A+ on the suit right now. Hidden dev, which is a W. 92 speed, 91 excel. That is way faster than I thought he was going to be, considering what they were saying for him. 86 change of direction, 84 agility, 89 jumping, 72 strength. The hidden dev trait does it all for me here. I feel like Michael Garland was a W of a pick. In the 5th round, all of our favorites are gone at this point, so kind of shooting blind a little bit here from some of the guys. We did scout this guy, Grayson Tobin. He's got A to B carry, A to B catch in traffic, C catching, which is arguably one of the higher catch ratings for the guys that are left right now, a wide receiver. B medium route, F release, F deep route, but he's got a C short route, pretty solid stamina. He's got some things to like, some things not to like. His physicals, he runs a 4.45 40-yard dash. He's probably decent speed. He's not a crazy athlete. This is probably more of a possession guy more than anything else. So we're going to take a little bit of a gamble on him in the 5th round. Grayson Tobin, you are a Carolina Panther. All right, look, there's your boy. Yeah. How we feel about it? Everyone's clapping. There's a guy wearing red. We're Carolina Panthers, buddy. We wear blue. And there is Grayson Tobin at home. He's got his Panthers hat. He's locked in. He was ranked 41 in true value. We got him at 131. Didn't drop a pass at the combine. Someone could have told me that. That would have been nice. Secure hands with defenders in vicinity and runs fundamentally sound short routes. We got our slot guy. What do we got here? Normal dev, 91 speed, 91 excel, faster than I thought. 88 agility, 88 change of direction. His strength is late doo-doo, but this could be a guy that maybe down the line is going to be catching passes from Joseph Burton. Now, with our next pick in the 5th round, we don't really have anybody that's left, so we're going to try to trade our next couple of ones. So our second 5th rounder goes to the Colts for a 2026 4th rounder, which we eventually will try to turn into some better draft capital at some point. Now, with our last pick is going to be the 7th round, 19th pick overall. We had a kicker that I actually favorited that seemed like he was going to be pretty solid. So we're going to look at him. Rises to the occasion in big moments. That's all I need to see. But I'm gonna look and see what else you got here. Under a 5-second 40-yard dash. You might need that at some point. He's got D kick accuracy, but he's got A medium and short accuracy compared to some of the other guys. We don't know what his kick power is gonna be. I gotta assume it's gonna be decent. We're gonna take a kicker. Okay, he's from Florida. He's used to warm weather. Ranked 139. We got him at 211. His picture shows him with the buzz cut. He apparently has a whole lot of hair. And he already has a Panthers headband on. Our kicker was at the draft. Make it make sense. Decent leg power, needs to improve accuracy. We could cut him at worst, you know? We'll be fine. One of the last picks we made was me just saying, YOLO, I'm gonna take a gamble on a guy. Will Warfield was ranked 338, and we drafted him at 222. Good notes, he played college basketball for 2 years. I don't know how that's gonna help us out. Needs to work on catching, shows promise running intermediate routes. I'm hoping he's a hidden dev trait. That would be the only thing to salvage this pick. What are the chances? 82 speed, 91 excel, 6'7", 251, played college basketball for 2 years, was too small to play power forward, and he's coming to Carolina to catch passes from Joseph Burton. Now, recapping our actual draft, Jadarius Leary, we go number 1 overall. He's a 79. Burton is a 77. Farrell is a 74. Oh my God, we hit on this draft. Garland's a 71. Tobin is a 73. Oh my God. Our kicker's a 67. Warfield's a 61, but he's a hidden dev trait. We're going to figure out what that ultimately is, but this is an absolutely insane draft. I mean, if we can take a look at Leary's stats across the board again, so hidden dev for him, great speed, 86 catching, 85 catching traffic, short routes to 84, mediums and 83, deeps 78. This guy was absolutely worth the 3rd pick overall. 91 jump. I feel incredibly good for him. Now, he doesn't appear to have any of the like aggressive possession catch stuff except for run after the catch, but I like our chances with him. Joseph Burton, again, we're hype about. Hidden dev trait, 92 throw power, 78 deep, 79 medium, 84 short. So we can get those into the 80s pretty quickly, in my opinion. Awareness is high, throwing the run is high, play action under pressure. Yeah, this guy is going to be fantastic for us. Getting a 77 overall quarterback late. I'm so glad we traded in. And with 94 speed, 89 excel, he's got tight spiral. He is conservative decision maker. He has ideal sense of pressure and predictable player, which is going to be great come contract time. This was one of the best picks we could have had. I think this is better than Jadarius Leary. Like, this is going to be a legendary player. Tim Farrell feels like a really good pick. Normal dev trait does hurt a little bit, but he's got such great speed, 83 hit power, great awareness, great pursuit, I think, across the board. 69 zone coverage is not bad at all for a linebacker. He has swim move, spin move, strip ball, high motor, and predictable player. Yeah, he's going to be a really fun one. 95 injury as well. Actually, you know, we didn't check the injury on Joseph Burton, and we didn't check the injury on Leary as well. So I'm kind of nervous to check those. 86 injury, 98 stamina. Okay, that should be fine for our QB of the future. And then for a wide receiver of the future, I'm hoping his injury is not bad. That is my biggest fear right now. I can't find it. My brain. Where's his injury? I can't read. 43? 43? 43? Everything hurts. No, literally it hurts right now. One of the picks we were the most angry about was Max Ramsey. He's a 75 overall. We could have, yeah, getting him would have been great. He is a normal dev trait, so I do feel a little bit better about that, but 81 pursuit, 90 hit power. He's going to be killing people in the secondary. Max Ramsey feels like a pretty good pick overall, and his injury is an 81, which is almost double what our wide receiver's injury rating is. So what's wild to me is we look at all the NFL players here. Theo Hoover is great, but he's a 75. So our guy Joseph Burton is actually higher rated than the guy that went #1 overall. Number 2 is Esteban Gutierrez, who I'm sure has a better injury rating than 43 overall. Leary, we're going to be trading him. I can't have a guy with that bad of an injury rating. And there were some absolute dogs. Alton Garnes is a guy we would have loved to have fallen, but obviously he didn't fall. The highest rated players overall: Gutierrez, Leary, Eli Boone, which I think he went in the 3rd round. That is crazy. He actually went 1 pick before us, and that's a guy we probably would have considered, but 3rd highest rated overall. Burton is the 4th highest rated. Tavarius Hoskins ends up going 11 as the other receiver, who, I mean, if we just check him out, I'm sure his injury ratings are more than fine. Hidden dev trade for that guy. His injury is an 85. Wonder if the Bengals want to do a deal. After seeing his injury rating, we try to go out here and just say, like, there's got to be some offers out here. Does the CPU care about injury ratings? Yeah, they do. Nobody wants this man. And just to prove that it's not just because he's a rookie that we drafted or whatever, you go to our quarterback, you go to Joseph Burton, you throw him out here in the trade block. There's offers galore, okay? There's offers galore. Our middle linebacker, Tim Farrell, he's got offers as well. They just don't want the glass man, okay? They don't want him. I'm going to be honest. After I saw the man had a 43 injury rating, I told him to pack his bags. Don't even get an apartment. Go shopping in Atlanta because we traded him for Drake London. So Jadarius Leary, Mike Jackson, a corner we don't really need right now at this point. A 2026 third, a 2027 third, and a plane ticket to Atlanta for Drake London, who is coming up on the end of his deal. So we do have to pay him very soon. But he wants a franchise QB. We have that in Joseph Burton. And I feel like he's a great complement of this team. We needed a number one receiver. We just got him. And his injury ratings double our guys and then more. Now, to make sure that we maximize our opportunity to re-sign Drake London, Odell Beckham Jr. actually is a mentor, and we can actually bring him in. He's interested in Carolina, and that'll help Drake actually have a higher chance of wanting to resign because he'll have a mentor to learn from. So I feel like this is a good move. We'll sign him for $2.6 million. No big deal. Now, after hitting on wide receivers a lot in the draft and then getting, obviously, OBJ to be there as our mentor and Tobin kind of rising up being a 74 overall already, Javarius Mingo doesn't really have a spot for us on our team. So we're going to move Mingo to a different team. He goes to the Pittsburgh Steelers. We get a 5th rounder for him. He's the guy that probably has a better chance to shine there than he does here. And Xavier Legette can now move into our number 4 wide receiver spot. After everything we've done, we are finally here, ready to have a little team meeting and see what we got. So, Coach, you told reporters before the offseason that you'd upgrade the offense. And we did because we actually got Drake London, who was above an 85 overall. So I'm happy we did that. So I'm going to say yes. I think the goal was 85 or higher. We got Drake London. He's an 86, so we absolutely should have hit this little thing that they had. So which position group did we upgrade? Well, game, you should know. So I'm going to say wide receivers and tight ends. We got a lot better there. Drake London coming into this team to be a true number 1 when we didn't have anybody above a 73 was crazy. Ryan Clark said on this morning show that you didn't do enough to upgrade the position. I don't agree, but that probably won't matter. The game said you didn't keep your promise made to upgrade the roster. The morale dropped by 10. The game said do an 85 or higher, and I got an 86. Game? One of the last moves we're going to make this offseason before we really get into it is we're going to trade for Max Ramsey. He was a guy that a lot of you remember from the draft that we were so close to getting him, but the Jags took him right after. We took our guy, Tim Farrell. But that hit power I needed in my secondary. So we're going to get rid of Shai Tuttle, Kingston, who is a backup right guard, a 4th rounder in 2026, a 5th rounder in 2026. We had duplicates of both. And we're going to get Max Ramsey. And now I'm going to trade one of our other starting safeties just to give him room to be able to play. And I think that will solidify our roster so we can jump into this. And so we end up moving Marquise Bell to the Miami Dolphins for a 2026 4th round draft pick. He'll be their day 1 starter, which kind of benefits both teams. We get rid of a guy to make room for our rookie, and they get a guy to take over at their starting safety spot. Now, our running back situation is good. We have Jonathan Brooks there. I feel great about him. Miles Sanders, I'm not super happy about that one, but I found Rico Dowdle in free agency. 90 speed, great break tackle, acceleration is okay. To me, this is a good complement to what we have with Jonathan Brooks, so I think this makes sense. Now, as we're wrapping up the preseason, which we simmed, don't worry about that, but we're heading into the big team meeting room. Be right there. You got the team culture speech. You got to do it every year. What should I focus on? Let me get some advice, because I feel like these always set you up for failure. Pick out the one thing you want this team to embrace, being physical or explosive or playing smart football all year. Okay, we got it. This morning, I want to talk to you about our team culture. All right, this is a rah-rah speech. Our culture defines how we play every single week here in Carolina. What culture do you want us to embrace? This is Joseph Burton, our quarterback. It's a great question, Joseph. Physical, explosive, making splash plays, and let your QB choose. Oh, yeah, I'm going to put it on the quarterback. You're our starting QB. You decide, Joseph. Big decision maker. I want us to be disciplined on offense and defense and play mistake-free football. Honestly, okay. Your players will receive a +3 boost for the entire season in pursuit and play recognition on defense and carrying on offense. What a culture. You'd love to see it. We officially made our way to the beginning of the regular season, and it's important to set our goal about where we kind of see this team being. We won 4 games last year, but what about year number 2? So we could stay easy with 4 wins, could say 7, make the playoffs. Win the Super Bowl is not what we're choosing. We're going to go with make the playoffs as our goal. I feel like we have a team with enough talent across the board, offensively and defensively, that we could absolutely make the playoffs this year. That is our goal. And we have another press conference popping up here, and we say next question, but I don't even know what the first question was. But the fans are curious how you'll handle your rookie quarterback's development. What do you mean? He's starting. I don't know what you mean. In the past, teams have had tremendous success in a rookie sits for a whole year on the bench. Will you play your rookie QB this season or let him sit and develop much faster? Listen, buddy, we got Bryce Young. He's going to be playing, okay? Bryce is a fine dude. We're going to eventually trade him and get him out somewhere, but our rookie quarterback is playing. Are you sure? You'd be missing out on a lot of development. He's a 78 overall right now, okay? I am sure that he is starting. We need him out there, okay? Look at the depth chart. Great. That sounds sarcastic, Mr. Reporter, or Mrs. Reporter. Good luck developing him based on his performance in the field. That feels condescending. And then lastly, we head out here to the practice field and we get interviewed by a reporter who says, going into the season, I don't even know what it was. What is the area, or what is the weakness? Oh, I never should have. I'm saying defense. You got me. You called me red-handed. So if the defense is weaker, what part of the offense is the strongest? Oh, I'm about to get cursed out by the team. This is not good. We're going to say passing attack. Our passing attack is fantastic. Getting Drake London this offseason is massive for us, so I'm super excited about that. Can you be more specific? Wide receivers. That's my final answer. They're the backbone of our offense, okay? What would a successful season look like statistically? Who is asking these questions? Are starting wide receivers combined for 175 catches? Yeah, I can do that. That is a number I can commit to. I'm sure Ryan Clark will be yelling at me at the end of the season about that too. You promise your starting wide receivers will have 175 catches this season. God bless America. I hope they do. This was a heck of an offseason. We have our franchise QB, we have our franchise wide receiver, and we also found a gem of a wide receiver that I didn't think was going to be available, but he ended up being. This team should be fantastic. The offensive line is pretty good. We got a little bit better, a little bit worse in some areas, but overall, I love what the offense has to offer. On defense, there are some weaknesses, but Farrell, Johnson, Overshown in the middle linebacker, outside linebacker spot should be great. Fuller and Ramsey as our safeties should be incredible. And then our defensive line with Barno on the edge with his crazy 90-plus speed, Derek Brown back in the middle, Basham Jr. there, Clowney on the other edge, Stevens and J.C. Horn with Eric Stokes and Garland and Caleb Farley. This team has speed, they have talent, they have athleticism, but we've got a lot of growing up to do this year. Playoffs is a far stretch, but I think the Panthers can do that here at year number 2. Be safe, be smart, tell somebody you love them. Catch you guys on the next one.